So we'll start the demo in another 2 minutes. Few more participants are joining. We'll start in another 2 minutes. Thank you, everyone. So we'll start the session for today. To introduce about myself, my name is Nagarjuna. I've been into SAP for almost 12 years now, and I started my career as an ABAPer, and then later I moved on to Business Warehouse, BW. In 2008 and until 2010, I was working on business objects and data migration using BODS, Business Objects Data Services. And from 2011 onwards, I'm into HANA space. So I've completed 4 full lifecycle implementations in HANA. And currently, I'm working in Saudi Arabia for a multinational project in here. That is about a brief introduction about me. Now, coming to the course, for today's session, we'll have around 1 hour session. And after the session is completed, we will have question and answer session for another 15 to 20 minutes. So first, I will start with the session, and then we will discuss all the questions and answers. Thank you. Starting with today's session, what is HANA? Generally, we call HANA as high performance analytic appliance. Now first let us try to understand what is high performance. I'll try to demonstrate with very simple examples. Now let us take a table. Now this table has 4 columns. A very simple table consisting of 4 columns. Customer, product, amount, quantity. There are about 2 trillion records. For example, there are about 2 trillion records in this table. So when the session is going on, all the participants will get muted. During the session, the participants will get muted so that we don't have any disturbance in between. But you'll have something called a chat box. So basically, you can type in all your questions over there during the session also. And with those questions, we will have a live question and answer session at the end of the class. Probably some are just trying to text me that they're not able to ask questions. So we'll have question answer session at the end of the session. And between, if you have any questions, you can basically type in the questions box. Thank you. So let's come back to the class. So we have a table with 4 columns. The data volume that we have in this table is around 2 trillion records. I'm trying to ask very, very simple questions on this table. I'm trying to ask who are my top 5 customers. It's a very simple question. Now it has to get only 5 records to the top, and the amount of data that we have is 2 trillion records. So in order to answer such a simple question, it has to go through the entire 2 trillion records. It has to scan, it has to aggregate, finally sort, and give the data back. In order to answer this question in HANA, if this data and this table is on MS SQL, for example, it takes more than 8 hours to answer such a simple question. Now, if the same question, if the same data, if the same table is on HANA, it takes less than 6 seconds. Now, what is the reason behind MS SQL taking 8 hours and HANA only 6 seconds? Now, what are the main reasons behind it? Let us try to understand these reasons. Now, primarily, there are 3 reasons for it. The first one is HANA is an in-memory database. The second one, it's a columnar DB. The third one, it does massively parallel processing of data. Now first let us try to understand what is an in-memory DB. Now why HANA is called as in-memory database? Let's try to explain with a simple example. Now let's say this is a computer, and then there are 3 main parts in a computer. One is the CPU, the second one is RAM, and third one is disk. Now usually if you ask me, the primary way to store tables is always on disk, because disk is cheaper way to store data, so we store data on disk. In HANA, whatever the tables that are stored in disk, the same tables are now stored in memory. Now, first of all, why did SAP thought to keep the same table which is on disk and move to memory? So in HANA it stores over here, and in MS SQL the primary way is to store data is in disk. Now there are 2 reasons behind SAP separating the content from a container which is made up of iron plate, and put the same content into a different container which is made up of transistors and capacitors. There are mainly 2 reasons. The first reason is RAM is faster in processing data. Now how fast it is it is 100,000 times faster than processing data on disk. So RAM is faster, 100,000 times faster. And the second reason is whenever we keep data close to the CPU, when a user is trying to ask a question, now usually what it does is goes to the CPU, goes to memory, and to the disk, gets back the answer in this fashion. The same question when you ask here, now data is basically close to the CPU. It doesn't have to go to the disk. Whatever the answer it wants to get, gets from the table and to the front end. So why SAP basically keeps data in memory is because now in memory database, a database is nothing but collection of tables in memory. So two reasons for it. One is RAM is faster in processing data and data kept close to the CPU. So in-memory databases have higher performance than the databases which are on disk. Now coming to the second one, what are column-oriented DBs? Now why column-oriented DBs have higher performance than row-oriented? Let us see this. So let me go back to the first screen and get this table. So let's say data is stored in row and here data is stored in column. Same table, same entries. For example, I'm just trying to insert one record in the table. I'm trying to insert one record. Let's say R01. The product is M01. Amount is 100 and quantity is 10. Now what I've done is I've inserted one record in a table. Now these entries, whatever we insert in a table, are stored in a file in the backend. So now I'll just copy this entry and store this in a file. I'll also try to insert one more record, R02, M02, 200 and 20. I'll copy this record again and keep in the file again. Now, so basically we have two records. Now this is the way the data is stored in file. I'll just try to ask a simple question. Okay, who is the top customer? So to answer this question again, so basically it has to go to the file and it will start to search. And give back the answer saying that, okay, the top customer is R02. Because the amount is 200. So in this case, what it does is it starts to scan from customer R01, goes to material, and then amount, quantity, again customer, product. Now in this case, we only have 4 columns. Now usually in SAP, if you see the tables, the business tables, which store transaction data, or the tables which store master data, like simple tables like customer, like which is KNA1, or the tables like Mara, material. So these are the SAP standard tables which are provided by SAP. Now even these simple tables have more than 100 columns. the tables which are storing transaction data like BSEG, financial tables. Now these tables have more than 200 or 300 columns. So now whenever we are trying to ask questions, probably we don't request the entire 200 columns of a table or 100 columns of a table. Probably a question may consist of 5 to 6 columns, or maximum say about 10 columns. Now in order to only get 10 columns, now what the system has to do is it has to basically go to the entire 100 or entire 200 columns. So basically something like this. It has to scan the entire 200 columns and then get answer for 5 or 10 columns. So basically it has to do a full table scan in order to get an answer for the given question. So the major disadvantage of storing data in row is it has to scan the entire table for any question. Now for inserts it is easier. Now when you try to insert a is this okay? I'm sorry, I think the network is a little bad. Now is this okay? So we had a bad connection. So I'll just continue. I'll just try to repeat whatever we said. So Bharat. So what I was trying to say is, now in tables like SAP you have 100 or 200 columns. Now the questions that you ask are very simple questions. Bharat, please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. So out of 100 or 200 columns that we have, whenever we try to ask questions, we only ask on 10 or maximum 5 or 6 or 10 columns. So in order to get answer for these questions, it has to scan the entire table. So the major disadvantage of data storing in row is it basically has to scan entire table to get 4 columns out of 200 columns. Now how did SAP make it high performance when it stores data in columnar fashion? Let us try to understand this. Now when we store data in columnar fashion, now each column data is stored in a separate file. So you have a file. Now this file will only store customer information. So you'll have another file stores product. So in this way, for every column, it creates a separate file. So if I have the same records in here, let's say if I have the same records, so in the customer it stores R01, R02, M01, M02, 100, 200, quantity is 10 and 20. So if I ask the same question over here, who are the top customers? If I ask the same question, now in this case, it only goes to the customer column, it goes to amount column. So if you have a table with 200 columns, then it will only go to those columns that are requested in the question. So if this question is basically asked on customer, it goes to customer. If it's asked on amount, it goes to amount. It skips product and it skips quantity. So what is the main difference between data stored in row and column is, in column, each column is stored in a separate file. So only those columns are scanned. It skips away the other columns. So in here, it cannot basically jump from customer and directly to the customer over here. It has to basically cross product, amount, quantity, and so on. But in here, for each column, it stores a separate file. So if you have 200 columns in a table, you have 200 files. Out of these 200 files, what columns are requested? It only goes to those columns. So that's why the columnar tables have higher performance than the row-oriented tables. So the only question I asked when the starting of the class is, why in MS SQL 8 hours for simple questions and the same question in HANA is 6 seconds. Then we understood in-memory databases have faster because they store data in memory and data kept close to the CPU. The second reason is, in row oriented, it has to scan the entire table. In column, it only scans the required columns required by the user. It doesn't have to scan the entire table. Only required columns will be scanned and the other columns will be skipped. Now coming to the third one, what is massively parallel processing and how massive parallel processing helps in high performance? Let us try to see this. I'll just try to take a very simple example for this. Now let's say we have a 5-storied building. Now for a 5-storied building, you have asked only one person to paint the entire building. So what he does is, basically comes and then he does sequential processing. So every day he does paint one floor, and the total number of days he has taken to paint the entire building is 5 days. Now let us say we deployed 5 people to do the same work. Now each person will distribute the work. They will assign the work. They distribute, they assign, they process the work, and finally they assemble the work. They assemble and then they say the work is completed in 1 day. So sequential processing versus massively parallel processing. So when the work is distributed among a lot of resources, the work is done faster. Now how we can compare this example to CPU in the computers? How we can compare this example to a CPU in a computer? So if you see in a CPU, central processing unit, So you have multiple cores inside a CPU. So you have multiple cores inside a CPU. So this is basically known as a quad-core CPU. Quad-core has 4 cores. So this is core 1, core 2, core 3 and core 4. Now whenever you have complex questions which are having multiple dimensions, like you would like to analyze based on a customer, at the same time, now these customers, who are the top customers based on time, say for the last 5 years, for the first quarter, you would like to get the top customers, and these customers are purchasing what materials, they belong to what company code or what sales organization. So whenever you have a question which is a multi-dimensional in fashion, and in order to process this question, where you have large volumes of data, so what system does is, especially in HANA, now each core of a CPU will process 3.5 to 6 billion records per second per core, and it can process 15 to 30 million aggregations per second per core. So each core of a CPU. So let's say we want to perform an aggregation a complex aggregation. All the CPUs will get involved to perform a complex aggregation. Now each core can process 15 to 30 million aggregations. So this core can process 15 to 30 CPU 2, CPU 3 and CPU 4. So whenever a query is basically processing, all the cores will get involved. So where the complex queries are broken down into smaller subsets, and each subset of a query is processed by different cores of a CPU. So in massive parallel processing, where larger queries or larger volumes of data in a query is broken down into smaller subsets, and each subset is individually assigned to a different cores of a CPU. Now once the processing is done, it finally assembles the result, just like how these workers are basically assembling the result, and then gives back the answer to the question. The more the resources you deploy, the less time it takes to process. So until now, I was just trying to explain why simple questions in HANA are very faster. The same questions in MS SQL takes 8 hours. Now already we know there are 3 reasons for it. One is in-memory fast data kept close to CPU, columnar tables, only required columns are accessed, not the entire table. In the parallel processing, large queries broken down, assigns to different cores of a CPU, process, assemble the result and give back to the user. Now these are nothing but SAP sells HANA, and these are the default features that are available in HANA. So all these are features that are defaultly available in HANA. And HANA is sold as a product. But what is our role? So what we have to perform as a HANA consultant? So we are basically called as HANA consultants. So what is the main role of a HANA consultant in a project? So basically there are three roles. One is data modeling. The second one, data reporting. And the third one is data provisioning. To model data, to report on the data, and to provision data. Now, if the HANA consultant role, let's say the work is 100%, 60% of the work is data modeling, 20% of the work is data reporting, and another 20% is the data provisioning. So most of the time as a HANA consultants, our main role will be data modeling. And the second one is the data provisioning on the priority basis. And the third one is the data reporting. Now let me technically explain now why data modeling is 60 and data reporting 20 and the provisioning is 20. Now let us see the general system architecture in SAP when we implement HANA. So when we're implementing HANA, so you have different source systems. We have different source systems like systems where data gets originated from SAP systems and where data gets originated from non-SAP systems. So these are nothing but the source systems. And coming to the data provisioning. Now in the data provisioning, you basically have four kinds of data provisioning. One is called SLT. SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. The second one, BODS, Business Objects Data Services. The third one, DXC. DXC stands for Direct Extractor Connection. And fourth one, Smart Data Access. And within the Smart Data Access, you also have something called Smart Data Integration. So all these topics come under data provisioning. So we have three topics. One is data modeling. So in the implementation, data reporting and the data provisioning. So these are the source systems, and in the target system you have HANA. And on top of HANA you have Business Objects Business Intelligence Solution, which is known as BOBI. So this kind of scenario that we are seeing here, now this is known as a sidecar scenario. Sidecar. We also have something called main car. We'll see that as well. So this is known as sidecar scenario. Now what is a sidecar scenario is, the existing SAP systems like ECC, Enterprise Core Component, or CRM, Customer Relationship Management, or all the operational systems that are existing in the business suite of applications. Now these are nothing but all the SAP, and here you have non-SAP systems like MS SQL and so on. So already a lot of customers have implemented ECC, and they get data from different non-SAP source systems. So this data we provision using, the provisioning is nothing but copying of data from here. We just copy data whatever is existing on these systems. The same data is copied from ECC or MS SQL, and via this data provisioning method, it's basically kept in HANA. So data provisioning is nothing but to move data from different source systems and finally move to HANA. So in order to move this data, you have SLT. SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. Now using this, you can move data in real time. Using this tool, we can move data in real time. So what do we mean by real time? Now, whenever you insert a sales order, or whenever you create financial documents or create invoices, so whatever the operations that you do on the source system, with a very minimum latency, the data is updated from source system via SLT to HANA. So whenever you try to do inserts, updates, deletes on the source system, immediately with a very minimum latency, all the data is updated to HANA. And further, the data is available in the BOBI, Business Objects Business Intelligence. Or it's also available, HANA can be integrated with third-party applications like Tableau, TIBCO Spotfire, IBM Cognos, even the third-party reporting tools, as well as SAP Fiori. So all these are the front-end applications for HANA. So whenever you create a sales order, we are not disrupting the existing solution. The existing solution is as it is. We are not going to disturb anything. The solution will run as it is, but we move the copy of data from these systems via SLT. Whenever there are any changes, inserts, updates, immediately SLT updates to HANA. And further, it is processed in BOBI or any other front-end reporting tool. Coming to the second one, a BODS, Business Objects Data Services. Now this is an ETL tool. Extract, transform and load. So you can extract data from different source systems. We can transform in the sense we can apply business rules. You can merge, you can write a condition, you can do data quality. You can check the quality of data, whether any special characteristics are coming in, any control characteristics. Basically, we massage data in BODS and finally load this data to HANA. So when we have to use SLT and when BODS. Now, whenever we have use cases that require real-time processing of data, I'll try to give you a simple example. What is the stock availability on the shop floor? Now, to answer this question, now to get the availability of stock for every 2 hours or 3 hours, let's say, so which tool will we prefer? Will we prefer BODS, which is a batch processing, or will we prefer real time, which is SLT? So obviously, in order to get real time updates about the stock availability, we prefer SLT to move data. I'll ask one more question over here. Especially in HR, we do payroll processing. The payroll processing is done at the end of the month. Let's say in the last week of the month. Now for payroll processing, do we really require SLT? Because only at the end of the month, we basically do payroll processing. So whatever data that belongs to payroll, and these tables are basically getting updated on the month end. So we bring this data via BODS to HANA. So one for SLT for real-time updates, and the other one application like payroll where you don't require real-time updates. So it depends on scenario to use what tool. For real-time we use SLT, and for BODS we use, especially for data integration, getting data from heterogeneous source systems. You can transform by applying business rules and finally load the data to HANA. Coming to the third one is known as the DXC, Direct Extractor Connection. So when do we use DXC? Now we know SLT for real time, BODS for batch, rich in transformation of data. You can transform data and put in HANA. Now when do you go for DXC? Now DXC is especially used. Now this is the story before HANA. So when we don't have HANA, this is what we used to do. So we have all the data in ECC or the SAP source systems. Now we get the copy of this data into a different system called BW, which is known as a business warehouse system. So BW is nothing but a warehouse of data where all the data from ECC, another copy of the same data is stored in BW. Now BW is basically a reporting system, whereas ECC is an operational system. So these systems are primarily used for reporting, and these systems are primarily optimized for business process. So what I'm trying to say over here is, now if you have a scenario where you have ECC and the extension of ECC is BW, where the data is stored in the BW and then you can report on BW systems. Now, how a DXE can help in this scenario? Now, whatever data that goes to BW, you can get the same copy of data via DXE to HANA. So how does DXE help in here? So DXE is basically helping us to get the data which is passed to the BW to HANA. Now, what is the advantage of doing this? Now, if you get a copy of data that's going to BW to HANA, what is the advantage? The advantage is high performance, because the data in the BW or the data in the ECC. Now, why we have to copy the data from these systems to HANA? The reasons are, now you already know that now these systems store data in row, where HANA stores data in column. Now these systems does sequential processing. Now in HANA we do parallel processing. Now these systems, the primary way to store data is always on disk, and for these systems the primary way to store data is always in memory. Now this is slow performance, and here we have high performance. Now that is the reason we would like to copy data from either ECC or BW and put the same data in HANA so that the questions can be answered in a very efficient way. So that's why we use SLT for real time, BODS for batch, and DXE to move data from the solutions which get data to BW. We bypass this and get data to HANA. Now the fourth one, which is smart data access and smart data integration. Now what is this? The smart data access and smart data integration are basically used to get data directly from the non-SAP systems. Like you can get data from IBM DB2 or Sybase, or you can get data from MS SQL. So these are nothing but the connections. You connect to different source systems or legacy systems and access this data via DXE to HANA. Now, let me tell you, from these 4 data provisioning methods, what is available as a part of HANA licensing. Now, HANA licensing is basically based on 3. One is called as platform edition. One is a platform. The second one is an enterprise edition. And third one is an enterprise extended edition. So when you have a platform edition, you can perform DXE and you can perform smart data access. Now when you have an enterprise edition licensing, you will have SLT and BODS included as well. Now when you have an enterprise extended edition, you will have one more tool which is known as Sybase Replication Server. Sybase Replication Server. Now using Sybase Replication Server, you can replicate data from one data center to another data center. Now, especially for high availability and disaster recovery scenarios. So you have one system in Delhi and you'll have another system in Mumbai. So whenever there are any natural calamities or something else in this region, at the same time, it basically copies all the data and puts into a different geographical location. The copying of this data from one system to the other system is done by SRS, Site-Based Replication Server. SLT is known as a trigger-based replication server, and this is a log-based replication server. So it basically replicates database logs from this system to this system. So just to come back again, in a sidecar scenario, you'll have SAP and non-SAP, and you can provision data using different data provisioning tools like SLT, BODS, DXC, Smart Data Access, and Smart Data Integration. SLT for real time, BODS for batch, DXC to bypass BW and get data to HANA, Smart Data Access and Smart Data Integration, getting from different third-party systems and getting the same data to HANA. Now, once the data is available in HANA, obviously it stores data in memory, it stores data in column. Coming to the next one. Now, once we get data to HANA, then we start something called data modeling. So in a sidecar scenario, first is provisioning of data. You have to provision whatever the data that you require to HANA, and then you have to start data modeling. So what is data modeling over here? So data modeling is nothing but defining a relationship between tables. So we create different kinds of information views. So technically, a data modeling is known as information views. We create different kinds of information views based on different business requirements. So this is data provisioning, and data modeling is done in HANA. So once you model data based on the business requirements, and then finally we present data in BOBI. So in BOBI, you have different set of tools like Crystal Reports Enterprise, Design Studio, Fury. Fury is outside the BOBI portfolio. So coming to the tools that are available inside the BOBI portfolio, Web Intelligence, Crystal Reports, Analysis for Office, Analysis for OLAP, Explorer, all the different tools in where you can present data. So these are mostly self-service BI. So what is a self-service BI is users can ask their own questions. Whatever the questions they want to ask, they can ask using these self-service BI tools directly on the HANA data models that we create as a HANA consultants. So you have another scenario which is known as a main car scenario. In a main car scenario, you have something called directly the SAP system itself is sitting on HANA. The ECC is powered by HANA, or CRM or PLM. So all these different applications of SAP is directly powered by HANA. Now this is known as Business Suite powered by HANA. And when the Business Suite is optimized for HANA, and the Business Suite is optimized for HANA, which is also known as S4HANA. So this is nothing but optimized Business Suite powered by HANA, which is very simpler, which is very simple in terms of UI, simple in terms of configuration, simple in terms of maintaining of data structures in HANA. And further, SAP released a few more applications called in S4HANA, which is known as Simple Finance or Simple Logistics. So in this course, we're also going to see which is in S4HANA. So this course comes with S4HANA. So what we are going to learn in HANA is the three things. One is the data modeling, data reporting, and data provisioning. And what we are going to learn in S4HANA is the optimizations that are done to HANA in terms of the configuration, in terms of how the data structures have been changed for the existing business processes. So if you see, SAP has an education program. Now in this education program, SAP offers for their partners the code that SAP offers to their partners for their education is HA 100, HA 300, HA 350, HA 900, S4H01. Now, if you want to become a HANA consultant, so these are the books that SAP recommends for their learning program. HA 100 is a book which gives introduction to SAP HANA. HA 300 gives introduction to advanced. It's an advanced modeling and implementation book. HA 350 is for data provisioning. So mainly the data provisioning topics are covered in 350, and all the advanced topics of HANA are covered in 300. And HA 100 is an introduction to HANA, and HA 900, which is Business Suite powered by HANA. Now this is Business Suite powered by HANA. And S4H01, which is S4HANA. So in a main car scenario, you'll have application directly sitting on HANA, and we will focus on something called HANA Live. So what is a HANA Live? HANA Live is nothing but the solution that is provided by SAP. The standard solution that is provided by SAP for business suite customers like ECC, CRM, SRM. So that will be the main focus when we do HA900. And coming to S4HANA, the main focus will be on the how simple SAP has made the systems in order to utilize HANA in terms of front end, in terms of configuration, and in terms of the underlying data structures. So all these codes will be covered in this course. So this course is basically 40 to 45 hours program. So every day we will have 1 hour session, and 15 to 20 minutes we'll have question and answer session on a daily basis. I'll show you the course content shortly, and we will give you all these materials, the SAP original standard materials that SAP provides, including SP9 and SP10. So SP10 is the latest version in HANA, and they also have something called revisions. And the revision is 3 days back they released a revision which is 103 revision, which is the latest version. In S4HANA, until now the latest is 1507. 15 is the year and 07 is the month. So they release S4HANA in this fashion, and 1511 is available shortly. This is the S4HANA course. So all these 100, 300, 350, 900 will be delivered on SP9 and 10, and S4H01 on 15.7 and 15.11 editions. And Simple Finance is mainly for consultants who already know FICO. It's mainly for people who are coming from FICO background, financials background, that is suitable for them. Now, in order to come to this place, first of all, not to come to this place, for FICO consultants, it's important to learn data modeling. Only for the functional consultants, they have to learn SLT for data migration, and then they have to come to S4HANA, and after this, the next stage, the last stage is Simple Finance, and after this Simple Finance, the last one will be Integrated Business Planning. That is mainly for functional stream who already have working experience in FICO. So Integrated Business Planning is mainly for people who have FICO plus BPC, Business Planning Consolidation. So now this is the final step of the learning. So the course will be for 40 to 45 hours, every day one session, 15 to 20 minutes. Question and answer session, all the materials will be provided, and you will have 3 months of server access, which is the latest version. So in our server access, you'll have all the systems, which is ECC powered by HANA, S4HANA. You will have all the data provisioning, and everything is an integrated server with the latest BODS 4.2, BOBI 4.1, HANA SP10, SLT 2.0, ECC 6.0, EHP 7. So all the systems, we have the latest one. And assignments will be given to you. So we basically give assignments every week. The assignments should be completed, and then we need to pass down the assignments. We have a technical team. For example, if you have any doubts from morning They start supporting from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. in the evening. So anytime, any queries, whatever you may have related to not only HANA, anything about related to S4HANA or HANA Live or anything related to HANA, you can keep asking these questions. Or not only that, when you're stuck up in navigation, sometimes when you practice, you may get stuck up in navigation. And we may not proceed further. Immediately you can write an email. You'll get a reply within 30 minutes to 1 hour. And later, if you want to extend system access, you can extend by paying a very nominal amount. For participants, if this is not sufficient, you can keep extending this. So what I am going to provide here is, so every day we're going to basically record these sessions. So we are basically recording these sessions on a daily basis. So we basically share these videos with you. We basically share all these videos. So these videos and the materials that we have, certification dumps, all the HANA materials which are 100, 300, 350, 900, and then the technical papers which are functional specs and technical specs, the sample interview questions and resumes. Every day the video is recorded and it is shared and uploaded. Now coming to the course content, what is the course content that I'm going to cover in these sessions? I'll just open the updated one. So this is the updated course content. This is based out of SP10. So in the course content, coming to the modeling in SAP HANA, creating of attribute views, analytic views, calculation views, best practices in creating information views, performance optimization, currency conversions, variables, metadata exports, exporting and importing, lifecycle management, transporting of data models, CE functions and procedures. Whenever you have a customized business requirement, we use procedures and CE functions, hierarchies to represent data in parent and child relationships, restricted and calculated measures in order to derive new formulas. In order to restrict on data, you can use this, different kinds of joins, referential text inner, auto documentation. Now this course have given a very high level course content over here. So these are the topics in modeling. And coming to the reporting, we'll have different set of tools. You will see from reporting perspective, connecting to different tools to HANA like Analysis for Office, OLAP Explorer, Design Studio, Fury, how to design application in Fury, And coming to the data provisioning, we'll see different data provisioning methods like DXC, flat file uploads, BODS, SLT, and administration in HANA, how to administer HANA, backup and recovery, installation of HANA, distributed system handling, what is a persistency layer, what is multi-version concurrency control. So we'll see, so all these sessions are hands-on sessions, including the theory. So when we do hands-on, at the same time, I would explain the theory part as well. So user management, creating of roles, privileges, how to control data using analytic privileges. And finally, we're going to see two end-to-end projects based on HANA, which is based on controlling profitability analysis, and then sales and distribution. And additionally to that, I'll give you projects on HR, where you have to perform every week and you have to give back the assignments to me. I will review them personally on Saturday and Sunday, and then give you feedback on mail. And then we're going to cover topics on BW powered by HANA. So how BW is integrated to HANA, which is BW powered by HANA. And then finally the topics in S4. Including the simple finance, postings with Fury, how to connect to the backend, how the data structures have been modified, how the views are automatically generated by system. So these are the topics, and this course content will take 40 to 45 hours, and we will not have classes on Saturday and Sunday. It is 5 days a week class. So it takes around 2 months to complete the entire course. If you take an average of 20 days a month, it will take 40 days, so it will take 2 months. Now, especially coming to this batch, so we will have regular sessions from tomorrow. All the sessions will be conducted regularly from tomorrow. So tomorrow will also be the introduction class. So today, tomorrow will be an introduction class to system. So what systems we have in our landscape, and how these systems are integrated to each other. What are the usernames and passwords for each system? So I'll show you all the systems in tomorrow's session, and in day after tomorrow's session, that is on Monday. So we will start our first session. So in our first session, we will start with the data modeling. In the data modeling, we are going to start Introduction to HANA Studio. In the Introduction to HANA Studio, we will start what is a package, what are catalogs, what are contents, what are information views, how to create attribute views. So every class will take it a step by step. So we will take one topic, we'll see the definition of it. I will show you the practical examples of it and how these examples can be used in real projects and what are the different use cases for this. And then later, I'll give you assignments on the same. If participants who are interested, who have time, can basically complete the exercises and give back to me. And also, the course is very easy. HANA course is one of the easiest course I know because I come from BW, I come from business objects, ABAP background. So HANA is one of the easiest course. I started my career around 4 years back. So most of the thing in HANA is only navigation. It's model to code. Most of the time, we basically do a GUI work. Like we model data, system generates the code by its own, which is known as model to code. And then we have to write SQL script. Just like ABAP, how you have in SAP, we use SQL in HANA, which is known as SQL script. So that I will teach you in detail about SQL script. It's very, very easy. How to create procedures, how to create calculation views of type SQL script. So these are the entire things of my delivery, that what I'm going to service you. So not only in the class, but whenever practicing, you may get lots of doubts. So technical support is always available, and they're one of the best technical support. They're very, very good. They've been with me for last 1 year, this technical support. They give very detailed explanation of each one. So if you have any questions, additionally, first I will just read out whatever the type questions that we have, whatever the questions that are being in here. First I will read out those questions, and then I will take the live questions from you. First I will just read out all the questions here. So what will be the role if you have a support project? So most of the support projects, when you have this, the main role will be monitoring role. Once the implementation is completed, now you have continuous enhancements that you have to do. Again, you have to do enhancements to the data models, and then continuously monitoring of these jobs which are running on a daily basis. The jobs which are running on daily basis from source to target, we need to keep monitoring those jobs. So these two are the main activities. One is the remodeling and enhancing the existing views, and then monitoring the jobs that are running in the background. The next question, can we extract data from standard extractors from ECC using SLT or BODS? Yes, you can extract data from standard extractors using BODS to HANA, and also the standard extractors can be extracted using SLT to BW. So you can use SLT for BW, you can use SLT to HANA. We cannot extract standard extractors to HANA using SLT. So instead you can get from the base tables. But to BW you can use it. So this is this question is mostly relevant who are working on BW. So I just answered that question for participants who are already working in BW. So next question here. Can we use third-party reporting? Can we use third-party tools to migrate data from ECC to HANA? Yes, we can use Informatica. Informatica can be used as an ETL tool to extract to HANA. But preferably, SAP always suggests to use BODS, Business Objects Data Services. Next question, what is BW system? The question is something like this. What if the BW system is powered by HANA? In that case, should we use DXC? So when you have BW powered by HANA, we don't need to use DXC. So DXC is only used when a sidecar scenario. You see this picture that we drew over here. So DXC is only used when you have a sidecar scenario. I think today we have a little bad connection. There is some congestion in network. So is it okay now? I just try to change to my backup connection. Is this better? Okay. So coming to the same one. So can we use what is BW system? What if BW system is powered by HANA? In that case, can we use DXC? So DXC is basically used for a sidecar scenario. So when you have BW on MS SQL, then only we can use DXC. Otherwise, we cannot use DXC when you have BW powered by HANA. Next question. Does HANA have the same development, quality, and production system? Yes, we have the same thing. So next question, do you also provide the test environment for learning? Yes, we provide whatever the system that I'm showing you on the picture, you'll have the entire landscape for your learning. So I'm an SRM functional consultant. How this is suitable for me? So SRM is powered by HANA. So it will be suitable for you when you have SRM models you have SRM data models on HANA, mostly on the data modeling and the data provisioning. Next question. Is SLT a different server or it's a part of ECC? Whenever we are working on the projects, SLT is on a different server. It's not on the ECC. But for demo purpose, usually whenever we do test environments, because we don't invest heavy on the hardware, even you can have SLT inside the ECC in the demo systems. But when you're working on the project, SLT is always on the separate server. Is there any weekend classes So we do not have weekend classes, but if the participants are not able to attend the main class, we also have something called recorded video sessions. So this is called as video training. So you can enroll also for the video training. So when you enroll for video training, you'll not be able to have live classes. You'll not be able to attend the live class. So you'll be coming to the video training sessions that will be given to you. So can you please explain the ABAPers flow the way that you explained for FICO? Okay. Coming to the ABAP, for the ABAP, you have to go through HA100, HA300, HA350, HA900, and then additionally you have a book called HA400, that is HANA optimized ABAP. So for that, once you complete this course, based on the functional area, we will give the delta part education. For ABAPers, it is ABAP. For functional, we give functional. So that's the delta education we provide as a part of this course. So if you're coming from ABAP, then we guide you until the ABAP program is completed. So after this, you have to take HA400. So it's a part of the course. I think network is very bad today. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hands. Please raise hand. I'll just unmute them. You can ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, Rohit. Rohit, I'm here. Hello, Rohit.
Hello.
Yes, Rohit, please ask your question.
Yes. Do you need to have any prior knowledge of BW, BPC, BCC?
No, Rohit. It's not necessary.
Before learning this course?
No, not necessary. So this is a native HANA course. So
where will we stand after?
So may I know your background? Because in order to
BPC consultant.
You're a BPC consultant? Okay. So basically, if you're a BPC consultant, because you already know BW, you already know FICO, and then you already know the front-end BPC, I mean the BPC that you do. So for you, in order to fit into this program, you have to first learn the HANA and then integrated business planning, which is a new application for BPC. BPC is now embedded into HANA in BW 7.5, BW NetWeaver 7.5, and the edition is 15.07, which is S4HANA. So in there, for you, you have to learn 100, 300, 350, and 900 S4HANA, and then for you, it's not necessary for going to simple finance, but then you can directly go to integrated business planning. Okay, Rohit?
Okay, after this course, where are we gonna stand?
So again,
of this course?
you'll be again a BPC consultant, but The same BPC that you do on the NetWeaver, whatever the application that you design, you can also design it in HANA. So technically, you'll be able to know how the solution can be developed in the native HANA, how native HANA will help you to develop the BPC models.
And one last question.
Yes.
I'm not very technically sound in BPC, so will this course be a good for beginners in SAP?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, in the demo, you see, I'm just trying to tell you everything, a lot of things, but HANA is very, very easy course to learn from my experience, because people who came for freshers, especially, they don't know anything about SAP. They're also able to get through HANA in Infosys, Accenture. So they're able to perform well. I mean, experience in the sense, they're from 2013 batch, but they've learned HANA and then they moved their career to HANA. So it's a very, very easy course. It's not difficult like ABAP, or not difficult like BW, where you have vast subject, or FICO. It's a very, very, very easy course. SAP has designed in a model to code fashion. It's a very easy course. Technically, I'm talking about technically.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Rohit. Any other questions? So if you have any questions, also you can write an email to me. My email is, I'll just give out my email to you. My email is nagarjuna.k. Anytime you can write an email, nagarjuna.k@gmail.com. Please do write email if anyone have any questions. I'll answer to those questions. Any other participants have any questions? Please raise your hands, because we have a lot of participants. So please raise your hands. I will unmute them so that you may ask your question. Anvesh? Anvesh, could you please be a little louder? Your voice is not audible. Yes, Anvesh. Okay. Anvesh, as I told you, you have to go through. The first is the education of HANA, and then later you have to take in HA 400. So the Delta training. So once you complete this, you'll be as a part of this training only, you will learn this HA 400 course. Everything will be provided to you. Everything will be provided to you. All the materials, the training content. Yes, that is only the perspective of ABAP. So how to design ABAP in Eclipse environment, how to develop models for ABAP. That's only for ABAP. So people who are coming from ABAP background, like for example, for BPC, how we need to learn IBP, Integrated Business Planning. For ABAPer, once you complete this, you have to go for HA 400. Yes, yes, yes. Anvesh, actually, your voice is very low. For some reason, I'm not able to hear you. I'm sorry for that. Could you come near to the mic? Most of the time, uh, attendees don't use the headset. So what happens is the microphone is a little farther to the this thing. So yes, Anvesh. Yeah, now it's audible. Yes. Yes, Anvesh. Okay. So as an ABAPer, you basically have to first take in this HANA modeling. So whatever the reports that you have, standard reports on the ABAP, right? The same reports can be rebuilt in HANA. Like for that, you have to learn HA100, 300, 350, 900, S401. Once you complete this, then you will take HA400.
So any coding is using HANA?
Yes, yes, correct. Report is in HANA. Once you complete this, then you will go for HA400.
No, that is explained by you. Hello.
Yeah. Please, Anvesh, this is the thing that after this, you have to take something called this one, HA400, which is ABAP programming for SAP HANA. This is a course you have to take. Because you're coming from ABAP background. Okay? So anyone have any other questions, please? Please raise your hands.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes, please.
I mean, this functional knowledge is required for SAP HANA.
Functional knowledge is not required. Functional knowledge is not required. But for functional people, they have a different stream. That is, participants who are coming from FICO background, they need to learn simple finance. Okay?
In SAP HANA, what areas they are having course?
So mainly you have to, for an ABAPer, you have to mainly focus on the data modeling and the provisioning. Because anyway, reporting will be done by the system, by the business users. So mostly on the data modeling, focus on the data modeling. That's most important. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Please raise your hands. I'll just try to unmute you. Yes, Sindaram. Sindaram?
Uh, yeah, actually, basically, I'm from BW people.
Okay.
So, can you suggest me which is suitable which is suit for me?
So for you, actually, you have to basically go to HA100, 300, 350, 900, and then you have to move on to BW362, which is BW powered by HANA. So once you complete this course, you have to go to BW powered by HANA. BW powered by HANA.
So, okay.
So once you complete this, then as a part of this course, the last step will be BW362. Like for ABAPers, HA400, for BPC, IBP,
Okay.
for Simple Finance, AC100, AC120. For BW, this is the code number, BW362.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
welcome. So Vikrant,
Hey, hi Nagarjuna.
Hello, hi.
Actually, I'm a BW consultant.
Okay,
I have some questions regarding our today's session.
okay.
You said that we do SLT for base tables in ECC, right?
Yeah.
For real-time data.
hmm
So those are transaction tables, right? What about the master data tables?
Even the master data tables also you can get. For example, like when you're designing a report, let's say now we require master data tables. Let's say for customer like KNA1 or like material Mara or any other company code tables like T001. So what we try to do is we get those tables into HANA in a scheduled method. So not only real time, but HANA also has scheduled method. You can schedule these jobs based on the jobs that are scheduled. You can get data to HANA. Also for real time, you can get
Okay,
data for transaction tables. If you want real time,
okay,
you can.
but
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, but is it compulsory to make master data tables real time, or do we have any other technique
Yeah, that is scheduled way. Scheduled. You can keep
for
a schedule.
SLT?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Just like how you do it in
Yeah,
info package in BW, how you do with using the process chains. The same
okay,
way we have the scheduled method of doing things in SLT.
okay, fine. Another question is, you said that if we use DXC, we bypass BW system.
hmm Not always, not always. So there are two scenarios. One is you can bypass or you don't have to bypass. So customers who still want to use BW and still want to use DXE can do, and customers who want to bypass and you want to use HANA can do. So that is nothing but a configuration setting that you have to make. So once you make the configuration setting that you want BW to have data or you don't want to have BW data, that is done in something called RS admin table. There's a table called RS admin on the ECC where you can enable to have data in BW or you don't want to have data in BW. You can make those configuration settings there. Okay, Vikrant?
Okay, fine. Okay, actually, your voice was cutting, so I didn't heard anything.
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is you have a setting in RS admin table in the ECC side. If you make that setting, you can have data with BW or without BW to bypass BW and get data to HANA. Just you have to make that setting, check or uncheck. Okay?
Okay, okay, fine. This everything is getting recorded, right, in your today's session?
Yeah, everything is getting recorded, yes.
Yeah, because still voice is cutting, so I can hear the recording. That will be better actually
Yeah, today
for
actually
everyone.
what happened, the network is very bad, I think, because any connection I'm using, I changed two connections until now. There's some problem, I think.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
And one more thing.
but again, you everyone can attend tomorrow's session also. Tomorrow, I think we may have better connection.
Okay, okay. One more thing. You said the BODS is from for extracting data from ECC for
Yeah.
batch processing,
hmm
right?
Yeah.
So can we use BODS for third-party tool?
Yes, you can also use BODS for MS SQL. You can use for Hadoop. You can use for files. Any system you can use BODS. It can get data from heterogeneous source systems. Not only
Okay, okay,
you can have HANA as a target. You can have any third-party system. Okay.
okay, okay. You mean to say even Teradata?
Yeah, Teradata as well.
Okay, fine. And what is the current certification code? Is it 142 for SP8?
The latest is 151.
Okay,
151 is for SP9, which is released in 2015 edition.
okay. And does it cover HA 100, 300, and 350 or some other books
HA
too?
100, 300, 350, HA 900, and also hands-on lab for SAP HANA.
Okay, so this is for 151
Yeah,
latest.
151 latest, yes.
Okay. So what do you suggest, to go for 142 or 151?
So always go for latest. That is the better. Always the latest is better.
What is this 900?
900,
Because
900
okay,
is
first
nothing.
three we know, but what is this?
900 is Business Suite powered by HANA. ECC on HANA.
Okay, so this is also part of the latest certification.
Yes, correct.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Pramod? Mr. Pramod?
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Nagarjuna. I
Yes,
have a
bro.
query.
Yes, please.
I just want to go to. I don't want to go with the data modeling and everything. Just
Mhm.
I want to learn with the business suite with HANA.
Okay.
As I'm a SRM functional consultant,
Mhm.
is it going to be helpful?
So basically, Business Suite on HANA will involve the HANA modeling. So if you see, even you want to learn.
Your
Excuse
voice
me.
is breaking out. Your voice is breaking out. Yeah.
Is this okay now?
Can you repeat, please?
Pramod, is this
Yeah,
okay
it's
now?
fine.
It's fine. So what I'm trying to say, now when you
Again,
1 minute, I'll just change the connection. Give me 1 minute.
hello.
Yeah, I'll just change the connection.
Please.
Just give 1 second.
Sure.
Pramod, is this okay now? Mr. Pramod? Pramod, is this okay now? Hello?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you, yes. So basically what I'm trying to
Uh,
say. Hello?
yeah, carry on.
Okay. So
I'm listening.
basically what I'm trying to say over here is, now for an SRM consultant, yes, this is correct, that HA900. But before the HA900, HA900 doesn't give you very details about the different data modeling aspects. So you need to take HA100 because everything is a part of the course itself. So HA100 also covers the data modeling. So HA900 you'll have data modeling, but only on very high level. It's a very high level. You'll not have
Okay.
much details about it. So you can learn HA900, but if you want to have a very detailed understanding, always as a technical consultant, I always suggest, as a technical and functional, HA100, HA300, and only SLT you can learn from 350, and then go to HA900, then S4HANA.
Okay. But this is totally different, right? This all the data modeling and this comes under for reporting side, all right? For how a functional consultant sit into this one. That's my query because I have totally gray area in this HANA side.
Okay.
So.
So basically,
To understand little bit means before going to the training, I want to know
yeah.
where exactly this as a SRM consultant will sit into this one.
Okay. So basically, you see here you have SRM on HANA, right?
Okay. Yes.
So this is when SRM is on HANA. But when you have SRM, which is currently running on a separate box, and you have HANA over here. This is called
Okay.
Sidecar. So in a sidecar scenario, the important is the SLT part. One is the SLT part. Okay, and the other one is when you have SRM on HANA, the important part is the data modeling. Anyways, we don't require SLT because SRM itself is sitting on HANA in here. So obviously it means that we don't have to move data from this system to this system. But we are not sure whether we are going to work in this project or we are going to work in this project. Am I right or not? So you may have some projects in here, we may have some projects like this. So my suggestion, that's why. So when coming to the education part, so my suggestion would be you can learn the SLT part, data modeling part. In HANA itself is the 60%. So once you complete, and then you can go for S4 HANA. So this will, yeah.
Sorry, in S4HANA where the SRM comes, means like we don't have any, still now that in SAP not even introduced any means deployment of SRM, right, as of now?
Yeah, you are true. 100% whatever you said is completely true because they only released simple finance solution.
And
but
in November they are planning for logistics, I believe.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say here is S4 HANA is a general course. It doesn't like for SRM or CRM or ECC, it's not relevant for anyone actually. Now it is more relevant. It's a general course for all the business suite of applications, but then it will get more specific when you choose an application like Simple Finance is for FICO, logistics for SD consultants, for SRM. So basically for SRM, for CRM, S4 HANA is basically a prerequisite for every course.
Okay. So in logistics, so only SD or MM will be also coming part into the...
MM, everything. I mean, just like I've given an example like SD.
Oh, okay. I felt like only logistics because
No.
I don't know. Okay.
No, all the logistics.
Okay.
All the logistics part.
So it's a S4 HANA is it's like combination of all the it's like combination of all the modules like
yes. It's the code number is S4H01. You can go to Google and just type in S4H01, and then it will give you the complete picture of S4. So this is the course content. 1 minute, I'll just show you. Somewhere I opened the course content part.
So HANA Live is totally different.
HANA
Live is a part of HANA.
HANA Live is something like all the SRM related content will be on HANA.
Oh, okay. See, means my point is like I don't want to shift over from my SRM functional consultant, but I want to know the HANA.
Yes.
So in this, just I want to I want to get to know like how it's.
Yes, I got your perception. So you want to still continue on the SRM side, but you want to know the Delta education, how HANA will complement SRM.
Yes.
The same thing I'm actually focusing on.
How many means like in real world, how many companies right now move to HANA database with deployed SRM with HANA side? Means any companies are there right now in the real world?
So you have this Usha fans.
Okay.
John Deere.
Oh, okay. As we are working for a telecom company, as of now, still they haven't done. So I just want to have knowledge whether they are going or still it's in a lab phase only. I want to understand.
So if you want all the customer details, right, you can go to something called HANA. Just in Google, you can type in HANA customer feedback for business suite of applications. HANA customer feedback for business suite of applications. There are, I think SAP prepared all the customer feedback for more than, I think for more than 500 customers for business suite. You can read and you can just go through all those testimonials.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. I think we don't see any raised hands, so I'll conclude the session for today. Once again, thanks everyone to attend this session. It's a pleasure talking to everyone. And tomorrow, please do attend tomorrow's session. That is our first session. We'll give you introduction to various systems that we have. And then on the Monday, we'll start our first session. So tomorrow is just a demo session to introduction to the systems. And on Monday, we have the first session. Thank you, everyone. I think one more last question we have from Vaibhav. So let me take that Vaibhav question. Yes, Vaibhav? Yes, Vaibhav.
Here's a question. What are the exact courses which are useful for SAP basis consulting?
Could you please be a little louder, Vaibhav? Could you please come near to the mic? Yeah, it's a little lower.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes, Vaibhav.
Now it's audible?
Yeah, now it's audible, yes.
Yes, actually, the thing is that what are the courses for HANA which are useful for SAP basis consulting?
So basis consultant, you have to go for HA200. HA200, and also there is something called DMO, Data Migration Option. So these courses, both the HA200, which is HANA administration, and the second one is the DMO, data migration, and the third one is the security part. So these three courses you have to learn. For if you want, I can give the code numbers. You want to note down? HA200.
Yeah, sure.
HA200 is basically for HANA installation and operations.
Okay.
And the second code number HA240. HA240 for authorization, security, and scenarios. And HA250 is migration to SAP HANA using DMO, data migration option. So these three courses will surely help you to enhance your career in HANA. And apart from this, so before learning that, now the path will be something like this. First is HA100, then HA200, and then next after this you can go to the DMO, and then finally security. Okay.
Means your course content will be covering all these three things, or
No, for that we have a separate program.
Sure.
You can write an email on that, and I will guide you
Sure.
to that program. Okay.
Since I can be in contact with Bharat, will be giving me information regarding that.
Yeah. You can talk to me over the phone. I will just talk to you in the phone, and then I'll tell you about the program, that is HANA administration. That program is called as HANA admin. That is purely for basis consultants.
Okay. Sure, I'll be in touch with you regarding that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, please? Thank you everyone to attend today's session. So I'll conclude the session for today, and tomorrow we will meet same time at morning 6 a.m. Thank you.